What's up? It's your boy Mike, and today we're going to be showing you how to make your own gorgeous stacked stones for less than $2 a piece. First off, put yourself about 2 quarts of water in a 5-gallon bucket. Now, get yourself a bag of Portland cement. What's different about this cement is you won't find any rocks or pebbles in there used as filler. Be sure to put on a breathing mask too when using this stuff, as it can easily get into your lungs and irritate you. Make sure to get yourself a small container that you can use to measure out your concrete. This small container will be used to measure out the rest of the parts that you'll need for this mix. There is no exact measurement here. The more times you continue to do this in repetition, the better you'll get an understanding of how much you'll need each time to fill out your mold. Now, using the same container, fill it up with an equal amount of sand and put that into the bucket also. Now grab yourself a paddle mixer and start mixing it together. You may need to add water as it might become dry depending on how much you put into the bucket. Now it's time to add in some cement coloring. You'll want to keep a track of how much you put into each batch. Otherwise your stones might come out in varying shades, which may or may not be a bad thing. Also, I want to add that there's more than one way to skin a cat, and I'm going to show you another way that you can color your stones in just a second. Now you'll want to take a handful of concrete fibers. These will help to strengthen the integrity of the concrete. You'll only need a small handful of these per batch. I'll put a link in the description for these. Last but not least, I like to put styrofoam pellets in my stacked stones. This is totally optional. If you just want to use concrete and fibers, then go ahead and do it. But this is also a cool way to get more bang for your buck. I like to put an equal part of the styrofoam pellets, just as I did with the sand and the cement. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description for these as well. Next, we're going to spray down our mold with some spray release. We use the spray release so that our stacked stones will come out of the molds nice and easy without damaging them or the mold. In the last video, we made some stacked stone molds. If you haven't seen that video, pause this, go back, watch it so that you can follow along with this tutorial with your own mold. If you do not, however, want to make your own stacked stone molds, you can purchase some low-cost ABS molds off of Amazon. I'll make sure to include a link in the description if you want to go that route. Now it's time to color the highlights on the stacked stones. Here, I have some cement pigment that we're going to sprinkle into our mold. All I did here was load some up into a salt and pepper shaker and sprinkled it into the mold. Now take a dry brush and spread some around into little crevices that you can't get your fingers in. Now at this point, I've poured my mortar into the mold. Now I'm going to use this little concrete vibrating motor to make sure that I get all the air bubbles out of my mortar and to help it get into every nook and cranny of the mold, so that everything is nice and seamless. And once you get everything smoothed out, you want to sit it somewhere level and dry so that it can cure. For me, this took around about 12 hours for me to be able to pull it out of the mold safely. And once you get that out of the way, you're ready for the final step. Now it's time to pull your slabs. And once you've let it sit for a period of at least about 12 hours, I'd say it's okay to go on ahead and pull it. You want to be careful because you can still crack it like right down the middle or on the sides, and that's not good for anybody. Then once you get your slab face down, go on ahead and start breaking it around the edges, and then eventually pull it up all together. Putting a liberal amount of spray release into the mold first will make this easy. Clean up the edges. Look at the detail and stuff in that. I mean, it's wonderful. The accentuation and stuff in the stone. You can even see the fibers and stuff off to the side from when you put the fibers in your concrete mix. Now, you don't have to do the styrofoam beads like I did. You can just go straight concrete if you want to. But you know, that's up to you. As promised, there is a shortcut that you can use to color your stones. The only thing I did here was dump 1 entire bottle of cement dye into a gallon of flat white exterior paint by Valspar. I hit it with my paint gun and let it dry. The whole thing took about 15 minutes to paint and about an hour to dry. Alright, now you know how to make your own stacked stones. It turned out really beautiful in this project. And using the formula that we showed you, it really only cost you about a little bit less than $2 to make each one, which is a huge difference when it comes down to making your own versus buying them at the store. And you can make them in any color that you want, thereby freeing you up to do whatever you want to do when it comes down to beautifying something around your home or another project that you might have in mind. Now in the next video in this series, we're going to actually show you what we did with the stones that we made, so it'll give you an idea of something that you can beautify. We actually did a really nice fireplace in a place that we're working on right now, but it's not necessarily limited to anything that's on the interior. Also, if you're just now finding this video for the first time, there's going to be another video that you should watch right after this one if you haven't seen that one already, about how to make your own molds. That one is actually going to be very crucial to you making your own stack stones. And remember, the skills that you learn in that video are going to apply to any stone that you want to make, any type of stone. So with that being said, have fun with it, and I'll see you in the next video.